This is an irregularly updated podcast.
Because we both have personal lives to take priority, so this is mostly for fun. And with that, soup's up!
Hey, this is Gio. Just wanted to add a little note here saying that when we recorded this podcast, I was away from my computer, so I had to use the microphone on some Apple earbuds. So please enjoy my terrible audio quality. I don't know why I keep fucking it up when I have to edit all of these fucking videos, but enjoy.
Welcome back, listeners, to another edition of High on Soup, where our motto is...
This should be illegal.
This should be illegal. Nailed it. And we have a very special episode prepared for everyone here today, because today...
And a very special guest.
Very special guest indeed. We have the one, the only, the very real Jack Black. Come on
Jack
the show,
Black,
Jack.
ladies and gentlemen, and others.
I'm Steve.
See, you can tell. You can tell it's the real guy. You can tell it's the real guy. He said line. Anyway,
Now, Mr. Black, if I may, what was it like filming a Minecraft movie?
Steve.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like such a blast.
now I need to know, just for the fans at home. Is it true that you had on-set affairs with Jason Momoa?
That sounds like a confirmation to me.
You heard it here first.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Okay.
Listen, what else is a chicken known as? A cock. And jockey?
Jockey.
They were jerking each other's cocks.
Alrighty, we should probably introduce...
Oh my god.
This is D, everybody. You might not know D. Returning listeners, returning listeners probably know D. All singular. We have one returning fan, and that's Viv. Say hi to Viv.
Amazing.
Yeah, but this is D. I met him sometime after one of our first hiatuses. I met him back in 2022. And he's become one of my best friends. And I've introduced him to Gio not too long ago when we were playing, funnily enough, Minecraft. And they hit it off instantly. They were instantly sucking each other's dicks. It was insane, my guys.
That's true.
Whoa.
No, that's
Not
true.
too much on me, guys. Not too much on me.
No, man, don't deny it. Just that's what happened.
Okay. Yeah, sure. What the hell? Sure. Why not?
D, can I talk to you for a second?
No.
This is a comedy podcast, and I just need you to know what the first rule of improv comedy is, which is yes and. So, if you wouldn't mind just like playing along with the bit, I know we didn't actually suck each other's dicks. We don't live anywhere near each other.
Like a blowjob on camera? Not sure. Like, is that the bit you're implying? Is that what we're doing here?
No,
You can hold on
but if you're offering,
I won't judge your size.
Okay.
That wasn't what I was implying. But if you're offering, I mean, shit, say less.
This is such a fun clash of comedy. Cause D.
Now, onto the actual topic at hand.
Right.
One of
We didn't
three
just-
topics.
We have one of those.
One of three topics. If that's like I was talking with D earlier. I'm not sure which direction this episode's going. We might bring up the two other movies we watched. We probably will. But I also mentioned how this discussion could talk about the sad state of Hollywood, which, come to think of it, one of the two movies would be able to tie into it. I'm not sure if the other one would. But like,
Let's
move on to our first topic of the night.
Let me just say real
the
quick.
Minecraft movie.
Let me just say real quick. I am we're in the Minecraft movie topic, so maybe I'll separate this by time code. So if you don't want any spoilers, are we cool with doing just spoilers right away for all of these?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I mean, to be
All
fair,
right, then, if you don't want spoilers for any of these movies, then skip ahead with the time codes below. But what I'm going to say is I am perfectly fine with discussing this movie the least of the two, because to me, this movie is the least interesting movie we watched.
it's sad, but
Yeah.
true.
It's funny.
I really don't have a whole lot to say about the Minecraft movie.
To be fair, what is there to say from a cinematic point of view other than it's another Jack Black movie?
No, not even just
Steve.
that. Because Jack Black has made some really great movies, I think. I'm a big Jack Black fan. I like Tenacious D. I grew up really liking School of Rock and the Kung Fu Panda movies. I'm a big Jack Black head. But you know what?
Yeah.
This guy's career's gone down the fucking toilet recently for whatever
Oh
reason.
yeah, no, that's absolutely true, dude.
It's really sad.
It's kind of you can pinpoint the exact moment his career started to plummet, shortly after the Mario movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody loved him in that.
He really killed in that. I heard his Bowser voice again for the first time in a while, and I had to wait, that's Jack Black?
No, yeah, he's great. I would argue, I feel like I still really like the Mario movie, but I feel like generally I've soured on it the more I've thought over it since it came out. But Jack Black is still top of the list for me in terms of things that I really liked in that movie. I thought his Bowser voice was great. I was fully expecting him to just be Jack Black, and he wasn't. He created a fun character and persona for Bowser.
Yeah. It's with my whole thing, not to get too political. I don't mean to get too political here. But I feel like the moment you could tell his career was going to start going down the drain was right after the Tenacious D concert, shortly after the You Know What happened, the shaving of the ear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
All right, hold on. Editor's note for myself in the future: put in the Price is Right loser horn now. Thank you.
Your very own editing reminding time step. My mouth.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right.
But with the whole thing with Jack Black's career there, it's very clear to me he's gone from being the funny man good guy actor, but
Funny guy.
yeah, he's gone into that kind of legend stance in Hollywood, the kind where if you slip up, you're dead, nothing else, no more, you got no career. D, I'm gonna ask you, since you haven't had much of a voice yet on the podcast, when's the last time you heard of Will Smith?
That's a good question, actually.
You can say the slap.
The slap. Okay, I just wanted to make sure if I had to specify in a movie or just on social media.
Oh yeah, no.
Just in general.
Just in general, because the
last time I heard of him was the fucking the iRobot meme.
Yeah,
that's the only time I remember him.
See, because that's the thing. He editors know. Put in the meme where it's y'all got stable career opportunities. No, we sabotaged your career because you slapped a guy on stage. But after that slap live on stage at the Oscars, he had no more career. That was it.
He died.
He was gone.
He died.
And to be fair, there's a lot of underlying themes to why that he lost his career so easily. I'm going to. What am I saying? We're gonna get into racism later in this episode. Discuss it as a topic.
That is true.
So I'm
Like
going.
we talked about the Minecraft movie for nothing. We didn't. We haven't talked about it yet, actually.
Yeah, we're like 10 minutes in and we haven't talked about it.
We could.
Yeah, we're like nearly 10 minutes of this recording.
We're talking about Jack Black, right? We talk about
We're
Jack Black.
talking about Will Smith.
We're talking about the sad state of Hollywood and how like racism is probably a part that played in Will Smith's like assassinated career. But I feel like with Jack Black playing extra careful with what he did is because not only what happened to Will Smith, right? But
Right.
also because of the fact that this is a very like elections are always a volatile time for America, specifically America. I'm saying like
it's America,
elections elections all over the globe. They're always a hot topic debate. There's always like a law on the line for them. Hell, the Canadian election at the time of recording is 6 days away, and I have not caught up on any of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of voting. Before the podcast started, I asked a bunch of my Canadian friends I've met online what they were voting, and they've all said Liberal, so I'm just going to vote Liberal. Because I don't know anything about any politics at all. I just know, tariffs.
Well, you got a week, so maybe brush up on it a little bit and make your own decision. I'm not trying to dissuade you from voting Liberal as a liberal, but
Liberal.
Fellow Liberal, I don't want you voting Liberal. I am the ultimate Liberal.
I'm gatekeeping liberalism.
You mean the super liberal?
Jesus,
Said Obama
I don't want to
with
be
a
fucking
chuckle.
liberal.
Bob would chuckle. You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Alrighty,
You mean the Chaos
yeah,
Emeralds?
yeah. Jack Black's career has been a very play it by safe whole thing because of Hollywood's general unstability, especially in this job market. Whatnot with AI and all this like threatening the very livelihood of creators.
This was like maybe a week before a fucking major strike. This was crazy time.
Yeah, crazy.
What?
Crazy goddamn times. But point being, the whole thing of playing it safe can be said for the entirety of the Minecraft movie. This entire thing is the least offensive thing you could ever really get.
The most offensive they get is by having old man yell between Jack Black and Jason Momoa, and I think that is the funniest thing any movie could have ever done, and the fact that it is done in a Minecraft movie makes it even more hilarious than it ever could have been in anything else. Anything else. This is the funniest yell I've ever seen, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, no, it was really, like, that's the whole thing about it, because, like, they were very much the stars of the show. Jason Momoa was great in the movie, I gotta say that much. Like, positives, Jason Momoa as a whole, he was pretty good. I liked him.
Funny guy.
I will concede that he did very well. I also, if I may, maybe I'll save this for the actual review section. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, because we're still cracking jokes and whatnot about it. Cause like
right.
the whole thing about the Minecraft movie was that, like, it really leaned into that kind of marketing. What I'm gonna dub MCU marketing. As film,
right?
The film side of the internet likes to call it, where they
the
show all these
TikTokification of Hollywood.
Yeah, where it shows all these cool action shots back to back to back, and then it's the funny one-liners like "Chicken Jackie,"
Chicken Jackie.
Yes, which is for some reason a joke.
Yeah, it's not even really a joke. Like,
it's not. There's no setup. There's no punchline.
It's not trying.
He's
funny.
Just saying a thing,
it's
and
just
people
the way
went
he
crazy.
Says it.
It's because of the fact it's Jack Black saying Minecraft items in an exaggerated tone. It's like
because he can't say anything fucking normally because he's Jack Black.
Has he ever?
Everything has to be exaggerated.
Everything has to be funny.
I'm just gonna look something up real quick on my phone. in the middle of the
Like
crime.
the chicken jockey thing got so bad that theaters had to just straight up put signs so people wouldn't throw their popcorn at the screen.
Fucking Jack Black himself came out during
Jack-
a screening to say, hey, don't throw your popcorn, you fucking idiots.
Chicken jockey.
So,
Chicken
according to
jockey.
Google, I've looked this up. Jack
Uh-huh.
Black has discussed.
Huh.
Jack Black has discussed having troubles with attention, apparently, but he has not been diagnosed with ADHD. It would be really funny if he had ADHD. The way he talked
Be
about
really
Five
funny.
Nights at Freddy's, like
I
for
would
that-
not be
I think
surprised
it's-
if he had ADHD.
I think it's funny. You know the funniest thing?
What's that?
Jack Black is the only actor in the Minecraft movie who had actually played Minecraft. And
That's
I think
probably
that is
true.
hilarious.
No, here's the thing. Jack Black is a like. I know I'm gonna get controversial by saying
gamer.
this. He's a gamer. He's a gamer.
He's
He's
a
a
gamer.
gamer.
He's a gamer.
He
had
had a
a
Let's
a
Play
YouTube
channel.
channel.
He owns a life-sized fucking head of Glitch Trap from Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. Like, he likes video games. There's a whole
He's a
song about
gamer.
how it.
Did you
Yeah,
see the
Tenacious
beef
D,
for
a
the
fucking
Australia?
video game song.
Yeah, the video game song.
Talking
that was
about
on
how
there for a
amazing
while.
Red Dead 2
Wasn't-
is
oh,
and everything.
I just fucking realized he was Steve Minecraft in that video, in that
He
music
was
video.
Steve Minecraft, and then he
Probably,
owed a
yeah.
level foreshadowing, bro.
Okay, but yeah, no.
He was also Mario, and he was Bowser in the Mario movie. It's almost
get
as
to Mario in
if
the
it was a
Mario movie,
video
because-
depicting popular video games, and he's the lead singer of the band, so they made him the main character in a bunch
Actually-
of video games.
Actually, if we want to talk about how the
Who's
video
that?
games, the music video for video games foreshadow anything, it foreshadowed how he threw I don't know the guy's name, but he threw him under the bus.
Kevin?
Kyle
Isn't
Gass.
his name like Kevin?
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Hi, Kevin. Kyle.
But yeah, no,
Kevin.
he
Kyle
threw him under the
Gass.
buzz.
He did.
Oh yeah, when he
Well,
said
also,
the thing,
the-
and the thing that I can't say on this YouTube channel for censored reasons.
Well, I mean, we could say it, but I feel like we would be hunted down for sport because all
Yeah.
of us are, well, like,
A minority
like
of some sort,
That's
some
true.
sorts.
Gio's bisexual, I'm trans, and D, would you like to do the honors?
I'm black. I'm black. I can't say that.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Like,
I
can't
mean,
say
You can
you
s-
can say it, like,
but
I mean,
like,
I can.
but,
I
like,
just don't
I-
want you to get like
then
messed.
that's
I
fine.
don't want to get this entire podcast canceled.
oh yeah, Gio can
not
bleep
gonna-
things out.
I can bleep things
Well, that's
out.
not
but
funny,
also,
then.
listen, if you're the only one who can say it, so I don't feel obligated to bleep it out if you do, and no one's gonna get mad at us if you do, because you
I
are the
am a
only one who-
nigga.
You didn't have to say it like that.
It'd be really funny if I did, though. It was really funny.
It was really funny.
Your Honor, in my defense, it was really funny.
The Joker goes to club.
It was mad funny.
Your Honor, if I could just say one little thing, it was hilarious.
Now, Your Honor, I know I've had my fair share of misgivings, but I must say all of them were quite funny. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Your Honor,
Go to
if
jail.
I may, the thing that you or Batman fail to realize is that I simply did it for the vine.
Did it for the
Vine's
bit.
dead,
It
Joker.
was a bit.
Go to the electric chair.
All right, we're like 18 minutes in. We have to talk
Alrighty.
about the Minecraft movie.
All right.
We have to talk about that
It's
movie.
bad.
It's bad.
It's
No.
It exists.
No.
All right. Let
Now
me
let's go
preface this by saying, real fast, it's not a terrible movie. I went into this hoping for literally anything, and I found this is going to be so hard to talk about because I was genuinely bored out of my fucking mind, which I think is worse than hating a movie. Because if you hate it, like, you have this passion and you can talk about it, but this is just nothing. This is a nothing burger of a movie. There's nothing to talk about this movie except to touch on what we already have, which is the memes and the state of Hollywood. There's nothing to this movie at its very core. There is no real positives, but there's no real negatives. It's just...
It's a Minecraft movie. It's exactly what it says on the tin, dude. I don't know what else to say.
It's a fucking filler episode. It's nothing. I would have loved it if this movie sucked ass. If this movie was just...
But that's the problem. It doesn't. It's not a bad movie.
It's really not. It's just fucking so generic and bland and boring.
It's
and
just
no one has a character arc.
And there's like nothing.
None of the characters are interesting or compelling in any way. 95% of the jokes aren't jokes, and the ones that are jokes aren't very funny. It's just bafflingly boring.
Minecraft isn't funny.
It's not. And you could do like
anytime the movie tries to be funny, it's not funny. It's when the movie's not trying to be funny that it is funny.
That's true.
The simple concept of Jack Black saying big old red ones makes me laugh. And I want you to realize how dumb that is.
It's awful.
Now, may I enter the stage with some of my thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna click down my papers.
I
don't know if that picked up, but I just patted my tax forms on the desk.
It did not.
Now, the thing about when I went to see a Minecraft movie, see, Gio and I had very different experiences. All of us here had different experiences going to see this movie, and I'm going to stop referring to it as a movie, and I'm going to start referring to it as an experience, because that's what this was, to me at least. This is an experience that will shape your opinion on it when you first digest it. Because when I went to see it, I went to see with my little brother while my parents helped me clean my apartment. Right? So I had taken my little brother to it, and I was like, okay, I wonder how many people are going to see this. Because my last theater experience before this was going to see Beetlejuice. And when I went to see that movie, literally no one else was in the theater. I was the only one there. I was all alone in the middle of the theater. I had middle row. I had the middle seat. It's perfect seat. And I was just sitting there alone in my Fear and Hunger Karen Sawyer cosplay.
Right.
And I was sitting there after, I was sitting there and it was like, damn, this is really quiet, but I'm having fun. Complete contrast in the Minecraft movie. The theater was packed. There were families. There were people who weren't with families. There was grown men there. 2 grown men sitting next to each other. And it was one of the rare times when I went to a movie where someone was sitting next to me who wasn't family. Right? And then the movie, and it was like everything laying up the movie. The movie started, right? And then as soon as he said, "I yearn for the mines," everyone in the theater quoted with him, and I realized what was happening. This wasn't a movie. This wasn't your average theater experience. This was like going to a concert.
This was like going to see The Room.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like when he said, "I am Steve," I started clapping as a joke, and then everyone in the theater started clapping with me. everyone. Yeah. Like,
it reminds me of like when I went to see it with my dad. I got to the chicken jockey scene and I heard people just like straight up start cheering.
Like that's part of the thing with it, right? The Minecraft movie is such a play it by the numbers, safe Hollywood, like easy Hollywood cash grab. This thing's on route to make $1 billion, which is a fucking travesty. go watch Transformers 1 on Paramount Plus. Go purchase Transformers 1 on Blu-ray. Go support Transformers 1 however you can. Please, please, I need the sequel. Pretty please. Anyway.
Scratch all that. Don't do what May just said about Transformers 1. Instead, go watch Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson. Go do that, because that movie's fucking amazing.
Of them. Go watch both of them.
Go watch any movie that isn't a Minecraft movie. Go to the cinema. Sinners is out right now.
It's a very good soccer anime.
Sinners just came out with Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, directed by Ryan Coogler, who did the Black Panther movies and the Creed movies. Fucking everyone says that movie's incredible. I haven't seen it yet, but go see that fucking movie so we get more incredible movies with an actual vision behind it, and actual characters, and an actual story, and something interesting actually fucking happening, instead of whatever the fuck we're talking about right now. If I may interject with my experience, I saw this movie alone in an empty theater. I was one of like 4 people in the theater. Oh my god. You could hear a pin drop every time someone made a joke, quotation marks around joke. I was bored to tears. Like I have in my phone, I was taking notes, and I have a few things that actually made me laugh. Nothing really made me really laugh out loud, but a few things got a chuckle.
Made me.
If
I may, I would like to share some of those with you right now.
Go right ahead, because this is going to tie back into my...
Please,
this is going to tie into my original point I was making. I just opened the Uber app by accident. I was making...
Wow. Why are you on Uber? Get off Uber.
Because
Trying to
May
escape.
wants to leave right now, because we're talking about the Minecraft movie.
Okay, but like, as I was saying, right? Because when I started my whole experience with the thing, I talked about how your experience going to see the movie shapes how you feel on the movie. Like,
yes.
Yeah, but you go on about your points, about what made you laugh, and then we shall roll back around to my thing, and then,
okay.
I guess, yeah. Woohoo.
Point number 1. All right. These are just things that made me laugh and things that I found interesting. So the first thing I have here is the joke about the day and night cycle lasting 20 minutes. I thought that was cute, which is probably the most passive-aggressive thing you can say about a joke. It was cute. I think it's really funny how Jason Momoa's entire... Like, the biggest thing that ever happened to him was he had a sponsorship from the Sizzler. I think that's fun. So Jason Momoa, he goes to, like, these, like, auction off storage units, basically. And the guy who runs that facility to auction off storage units is Jermaine Clement, one of the members of Flight of the Conchords. And as someone who has been recently working their way through the Flight of the Conchords HBO show, can I just say, I fucking love Flight of the Conchords. I fucking love Jermaine Clement. He is a goddamn treasure. Top 5 New Zealanders. Absolutely. Really love him. And he's funny in this movie. He's the only character that is consistently funny. And he has one scene. He's in the movie for a scene. He never shows up again for the rest of the movie. But I liked him. There's a note. So they get an orb, and the orb takes them to the overworld. And I thought the joke on the note telling you not to combine the orb with the glass piece was funny. I thought it was a funny note saying, like, oh, you don't do it even if you're like a struggling
Don't do it,
owner.
even if like really money and you're broke, haha, brokey.
It was a pretty good joke, I thought. It was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Then I didn't laugh for an hour and 15 minutes. And then the best joke in the entire movie is the little knife bit.
Yeah.
That's that's a genuinely good joke. Because there's a bit, they defeat the evil queen, the evil witch, or whatever the fuck, and she
Subversion
starts talking to
of
Jack Black.
expectations, baby.
Yeah. She starts talking and she's like, hey, come here. I need to tell you something. And you think, like, oh, it's going to be like this moment where she fucking, like, reverts back to it because she has a tragic backstory and they become friends again, right? And then Jack Black's like, you're going to try and stab me with a little knife, aren't you? And then she keeps doing it and keeps pulling out various little knives.
It's actually
Yeah.
the same knife every single time.
Every single time she gets like back up, she just tries to stab him. I just thought it was really well done bit.
It was a really good bit.
That's the thing. The movie had like two really good jokes, and the problem is one of them was really early on in the movie, and the other problem was one of them was really late. It's like at the tail end of the movie.
And might I say,
There are also like 3 songs.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring
and
up
none
something
of
before
them were
we.
good.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm just gonna bring up one thing specifically that comes to mind is how everyone who I've talked to has seen this movie. Everyone and their mother thought Jason Momoa was gonna stay in Minecraft with Steve, and then Steve just goes back to the real world. That was a strange thing. And there is I didn't see it because I left my little brother after the first like the mid-credit scene, we'll call it. God, Hollywood's the MCU has done so much. So much. But,
Nothing good. It's done nothing good, really.
So much damage.
None of it was good.
so, with the post-credit scene, it teases Alex, which obviously teases a sequel, which we're gonna get because it's made $1 billion. But, like,
Yeah.
Right.
the thing is, with the whole thing, throughout each of our experiences, we all had different kind of, like, experiences. We had going alone, we had witness, and we had part of the crowd. Right? Because from each retelling, we've, like, see, I quite enjoyed my time with it, but that's because with my time with it, I was, like, it was, like, a group experience. Everyone was fucking clowning on this shit. And, like, the kids were having fun, but that's because they're kids and they don't have palettes yet.
A sense of quality.
Children, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's having fun. Everyone's laughing. And I was part of the group. I started a clap. That was something that I'm going to remember. Like, which is a whole thing about theater experience and how, like, movies are a big part of it, but it's also the memories you make going to see the movies, who you see it with, when you see it, how you see it, what point in your life at when you see it. The Minecraft movie is a really, really, really funny time to come out. It is such a funny time for it to come out, considering the state of the world as a whole. When this movie feels like it was dropped straight from the 80s, I'm gonna be so real.
But
If this shit came... Well, not like... When I say came from the 80s, I mean, like, what people describe as from the 80s. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't mean it's a...
Stranger Things epidemic.
Yeah, the Stranger Things epidemic, where it's like the nostalgia for the 80s overtaking what actually the 80s was. You know?
Right, which was mostly brown and shit.
Yeah, that's why the 90s were so colorful.
Yeah.
When people think of the 80s, they're thinking of the 90s, but they don't want to admit that.
don't want to admit, because we didn't like the 90s. We didn't like anything.
But, like,
Movies
the thing is...
and music videos from the 80s were colorful, but nothing else was.
Everyone was watching MTV, what can I say?
Yeah.
But, like...
I just remember Weird Al's Hawaiian shirts. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. Now, that's the whole thing with a Minecraft movie to me. This feels like they know... It's, like, the perfect way to play it safe. With the Mario movie, it was, like... It tried its best to not play it safe while also playing it safe, for lack of a better term. Like, okay, I'm gonna go over every video game movie that's come out in recent years. When I say that, I mean the ones everyone talks about. the ones everyone
Oh.
talks about. So
Right.
Detective
We're not
Pikachu
gonna
is the
talk about
start.
fucking Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter or Borderlands or any of that.
No, I don't want to talk about the Borderlands one. I haven't
But
even seen that one. I just know I don't like it.
but with but with Detective Pikachu, they kind of just it was just the most like creatively free out of all of them, I feel. Like it was the
I
one
would
that
agree
kind
with
of
that.
like it's the one that
Probably
felt
because,
like oh yeah.
probably because it was going off the most unique Pokemon plot to date.
Yeah, that's very much true. Um it was playing with it a lot and it really did tell like it really did honestly I'm going to say something controversial. I think it told the like game story better than the game did. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, it certainly told the game story better than the sequel did.
That is true. Um
I have no
and then
opinion.
And then there's the Mario movie and the Sonic movie, which are two different ways of playing it safe, but in two different directions. The
Hmm.
Sonic movie is playing it safe in the direction of where it is starting out playing to Hollywood's norms, and then it kind of, as the films went on, built off of that to include more of the Sonic franchise into it to appeal to not just the general audience who are now accustomed to Sonic, but also to the inner circle of Sonic fans who have been with this franchise forever now. With the Mario movie, it came out with everything Mario related. There is references out the wazoo. Swanky Khan was in the movie. Fucking Swanky Khan. Do you know
Then
who
he
Swanky
died.
Khan? Yeah, Swanky Khan
Then
fucking died.
they killed,
Spoilers.
they killed
He
Swanky Kong
exploded or
finally.
some shit.
Spoilers for the Mario movie, by the
Spoilers for the
way.
Mario movie. If you haven't seen it, by the way, go watch it. It's a pretty fun movie. But yeah, Swanky Kong dies.
Yeah,
So if
but
you're like one of the three Swanky Kong fans out there,
yeah.
my humble apologies. But also,
Alrighty. Now the Minecraft movie is somewhere in between Mario and Sonic, where it's using the source material to a very fun to like a degree where it's like you can tell that this is not just oh they slapped the name on there of a generic Hollywood movie like they kind of did with the
this isn't
first.
your average Minecraft movie.
Yeah. But the thing is they still adhere to your average kind of plot, which frankly put there was none aside from going home. Like they set it up. There's this long, boring, agonizing like 10 to 30 minutes setup at the start of the movie where they're setting up
Yeah,
the main cast in the real
yeah,
world and nothing
yeah.
happens and it's the most boring thing imaginable. And they're setting
And
up
Nope.
yet,
like it's your
that's where the only good jokes are.
like
Tragic.
it's setting it up like it's your typical fish out of water kid comes to really, it's just the plot to Ghostbusters, like Afterlife. Like it's the setup to Ghostbusters
Yeah,
Afterlife. It's just the setup to
yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
It's yeah. But like, it just sets up like the most standard movie plot ever, and then it just
Yeah,
slowly devolves
it's
into, "Hey guys, it's Jack Black."
Yeah, that's
it's the
exactly.
Lego movie, it's the Matrix, it's every movie you've ever seen,
Yeah, it's just
except
It's
nothing
everything.
happens.
see, and I think the thing is, in a way, it succeeded at being a Minecraft movie in that regard because when you're playing Minecraft, like you can have some fun adventures, some absolutely stellar memories made, and I got that feeling from the movie. The issue is that these aren't people I'm invested in. This isn't like watching your favorite Minecraft YouTuber play Minecraft with their friends. For one, none of the people involved like children. I should hope. Knock on wood. But
Uh,
like,
yeah.
but like, but like I was saying, right? You get invested with
Yep.
YouTubers because they feel more like people, because they are people. They just record their stuff, put it online. It's like what we're doing right now. We're just funny voices on the internet to some people listening. None of the people listening actually, except for the people who watch the shorts on YouTube Shorts. Gio, make a short of this
Yeah,
specific clip. Yeah, you motherfucker, you scrolling for YouTube Shorts right now. Go to the
yeah.
bathroom. You've been sitting here for fucking 30 minutes or more. Go
Get
take a
off your
shit
Hey,
goddamn
now.
phone and wipe your fucking
go get
ass.
out the phone. Go use the bathroom, or I'm gonna come out over there and
But
kill you.
like, yeah, no.
You've been
You feel
sitting on
more
the toilet with a poopy bottom for like 30 minutes just scrolling YouTube shorts. Wipe your fucking ass and get back to work.
but like yeah, no, that's what I mean, right? With YouTubers,
Yeah.
they feel more like people because they're smaller than famous people. Of course, now thanks to Mr. Beast, uh YouTube's now just Hollywood but smaller, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, no. But like, the Minecraft movie succeeded in feeling like a Minecraft movie. The problem is that it's a Minecraft movie. This is something you could find, like, this is something, like, this feels like it could have been the plot to one of those Minecraft machinima series you'd see back on the early days of YouTube. Like, with the absurdness of it all. But, like, the issue is this is a few years too late. That's a whole vibe I get from this movie. Years too late. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just remember another video game movie that was pretty good. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie, right? That was announced,
Yeah.
like, back when FNAF 4 or Sister Location came out. And it took forever to come out, but when it did come out, it hit all the right notes, because it took the original Five Nights at Freddy's, and then it spun it into its own thing, and managed to make it consumable for, like, a movie setting, when the very name of the franchise is very tailored to the games it is, the Five Nights at Freddy's. You know? And there's still Five Nights at Freddy's, and there's horror, and there's all that good jazz, and we get to and it explains the lore a lot better than the games do. But that's a whole. We're not discussing FNAF lore. That's another episode for another day. And Gio is just going to watch me have a mental breakdown as that happens.
I have no
I can
strong
see
opinions
that.
on Five Nights at Freddy's.
But yeah, no, that's kind of the bottom line with the Minecraft movie. It never kept up with the times. Like, it's kept up with the times in terms of what's safe to play it by for Hollywood, but in terms of being a movie overall, it's like, it feels like if this movie came out in 2016, let's say, or 2018, everyone would have loved it. Everyone would have like, popped off at it. They would have said, I legitimately cried when Steve said goodbye to the dog. The dog doesn't die, by the way. It's just the dog goes back to the real world, and you think that Steve's never going to see his dog again. But
I
no,
never for a second thought the dog was dead.
yeah. Like, the movie never tries to give you the option that the dog is dead. They knew for a fact if they wanted this movie to succeed, they could not let the dog die.
They don't give
That's
you
probably
any time. There's no point where this movie is unpredictable. Like, genuinely. Like,
Except
there's
for
a
the
moment
little
where-
knife. Except for the little knife bit. That was a bit unpredictable.
that was unpredictable. That's why it's the only good bit in the movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that happens in every movie that's ever been made that I've grown to really fucking despise, because no
That would
movie
be.
does it well.
Yeah.
Every movie that does it the exact same way, and it to the point where every time I see it, I just fucking groan. It's that scene where the hero, it's around like just before the third act of the film, right?
Is what I think it is.
I would imagine. It's that moment in every movie where the heroes they're up against the wall, and then one of the lovable rogue, he makes a daring sacrifice, and you're like, oh no, they're dead. But then they come back at the last second during the final battle to save the day, and whoopee, it's great. And then, so you were never dead at all. Oh yeah, I narrowly escaped death by doing some inane bullshit. And we're not going to see any of that because that would be too interesting. And this is a Minecraft movie. So instead, I'm just going to tell you what I did. Anyway, moving on.
I'm going to
I
say
think
it.
the funniest. Yeah.
I was going to say, it would have been so much funnier if he did die and just respawned in a bed. Or respawned
Yeah.
back
No,
at the
I was
portal.
gonna say,
That would
like,
be
I
a
was
good
fully.
joke.
That would be a good joke.
But unfortunately, there's no good jokes in this movie.
Like, when I watched the movie, I genuinely thought he, like, just straight up died. And the thing is, I wasn't sad about it. I just thought was really funny. It's like, oh, yo, what if he, like, respawns? And then he doesn't. It's just like, oh, I used the water bucket trick. And I'm just sitting there and thinking, like, how?
Chekhov's water bucket.
You're filled with water, though. Where do you get water?
Every fucking movie has this trope, and it's just fucking sickening at this point.
You know what's
because
another
no
trope?
one does anything different with it.
You know what? You know what other trope was used in this movie that they did
What?
completely? It's the fucking moment where it's just before they go into the final act, right before the big show off, and it's like, okay, gang, let's get together. We know what our resources are. We know what the job is. We got this. We have it all planned out, and nothing can go wrong. All right, team. Title drop.
Tumbles out.
That's true.
First mine, then crap. Let's
Also,
mine crap.
the-
That line made me audibly groan in the theater.
It's fucking awful. That's so bad. I also want to point out one thing that I just a glaring fucking plot issue.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, just before the final battle, they spend a lot of time like crafting all these weapons and everything. Why did they need to do that when earlier in the movie we saw Steve's armory of the exact same incredible weapons in no short supply?
Oh well, it's
Why
because
the
they
fuck
got
did they need to
destroyed.
craft more?
Because they destroyed it in the attack, and also
No,
durability.
they didn't. They were in his armory building it. You could see his armory in the background.
I love how I
There
can
was no
actually hear.
reason
I
for
I can hear you getting up and backing up from your mic, so you can yell about this.
There was no fucking reason for it.
Okay.
I just needed a montage of them crafting because they didn't craft at all in the film.
Well, I mean, they did.
Yeah, I mean, they
At
did.
for like
oh yeah,
2 seconds.
a kid made a potato gun and that was it. Fuck off. Fuck you, Minecraft.
All right, I think we're just about time to wrap up the Minecraft section of this episode of the podcast. So closing regards from me on this. Well, actually, let's get closing regards from Gio and D because I'm going to use my closing regards to transition into our next discussion. So take it away, boys.
All right, D, you go.
If you really just need a movie to watch while you're like drunk or something, just go watch the Minecraft movie. It's the same effect, just without the alcohol.
Valid. I can't even recommend this to you based on what you guys have said because I just felt nothing during this whole movie. I'm not even saying that to diss the film. I genuinely didn't feel a single goddamn emotion during the entire film. Not anger, not sadness, not regret because I didn't pay money, not happiness, certainly not happiness, not even entertainment really in any sort of tangible or meaningful way. It was just a fucking farce from start to finish for me. It was like, okay, I'm here now, and that was what it's like driving, but you're not thinking about driving. You're thinking about other shit. Like you're looking through the window, but you're not really paying attention to the road. That's what this movie was like for me. I was looking at it, I was experiencing it, and I was taking it in, so I'm not going to hit anybody, but fuck, if I think about this even a little bit, my brain's going to turn to mush and fall out of my ear.
And this is where we transition into me, where I wrap back into that little point I made earlier. You know, if you were a good listener, you knew what I meant when I said this movie is not a movie, it's an experience, and how you experience it is going to affect how you feel on it. So, like D says, watch it for your drunk. Gio says, just don't watch it. I say, this is just me. If you're deathly curious, if you're deathly curious and you need to absolutely see this to satiate that curiosity, or else you can't sleep at night, get your friends together. Maybe get a drink or two. Watch this with people you know can laugh. You know? That's how best to experience anything that's terrible. But as the point stands, it is a movie with a plot. A plot that is by the books, safe for everyone. So now I'm going to transition into a movie without a plot that was not safe at all. Ladies and gentlemen,
May,
Soul
which one
Man,
are you doing?
Soul Man 1986.
We're gonna do this one now.
We're doing this one.
Well, I want to get the two. I want to get the two American-made movies out of the way before we go to France.
If we even have time for France.
Honestly, let's be real. There's nothing really to say about the other movie.
That's true.
You're right.
All right,
You're
Soul
right.
Man, may I break this down?
Yes, you may.
Break it down, white boy.
So, Soul Man is a movie from 1986, directed by the man who made Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3 for some reason. It stars so the plot is this well-to-do white boy is recently accepted into Harvard Law School. But his father, who is rich, refuses to pay for his tuition because he wants his son to find his own way. And so what ends up happening is he finds an ad in the paper that says basically, oh, you'll get a free scholarship for any, basically if you're a good candidate and black, you will get a scholarship. It's essentially affirmative action in 1986. And so he does what any rational white man put up against his back against the wall would do. And he, I can't even say he does blackface because that doesn't do it justice, because he doesn't paint his face black. He takes some pills that medically turn his skin black.
Well,
And then he...
actually, Can I interject for 1 second? Because this is a part of the movie that could have been a plot point to explain this, but didn't. Which is the fact that these pills are experimental tanning pills, which he took the ad in the paper to test these experimental tanning pills for money, because he was at that point in trying to get money. And it just so happened that he took too much. This was completely accidental. And if they had kept this... well, it started as completely accidental. And then he took advantage of it.
Okay.
There's a line specifically where he says that he took a little too many, and now this happened.
I saw that more as like a gray area to where he's like, maybe he wanted this to happen, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Point is, it's a movie where a white guy pretends to be a black man in order to get into Harvard. And then hilarity and hijinks ensue, in quotation marks, where he falls in love with a black girl.
I should probably preface. D is not on the show specifically because of Soul Man. This is not.
No, I'm not here just to be a cattle. Okay, let's get that straight.
Let's get that straight. D's here because he also saw the Minecraft movie, and then we happened to watch 2 other movies with him, and then he's like, "Hey, you want to be on the podcast for the Minecraft movie episode?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure." So just to make it clear, this is not supposed.
We didn't bring in the one black guy we know to talk about the movie where a white guy is blackface.
It's just like traditional black. It's scientific blackface. That's what we call it.
Yeah. Because it is.
I have half a mind to title this episode High on Soup Episode 3, Scientific Blackface.
Yes.
You have to if you wanna work around that, you could call it scientific Jack Blackface. Or you could call even better. You could call it High on Soup episode 3 and D Jack Black's face, where it's just
what?
Jack Black's face.
I'll put it in the thumbnail. I'll do something fun for the thumbnail. How about that?
It's a picture of it's that one picture of Jack Black they used during the Mario cast reveal, and it's like blackface. Actually, we probably shouldn't do that in case
That's awful.
in case
That's
like we get
awful.
jumped by everyone.
Okay. Anyway, so man, he discovers a lesson about racism and what it's like to be a black man in America, I guess. And
Actually,
for some reason, James Earl Jones is in this movie.
no.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. I want to say something. I have
go
a
ahead.
thing. Okay, so this kind of thing would usually be saved for the end, but I want it to be very apparent when we talk about this rest of the movie that there was, like, not a good idea, but there was something here, right? Because I need to make it clear. I do not like this movie. I hated a lot. I just hated it. But there
I
is
think it's
one
fair to say
scene.
that all of us hated this film.
Yeah. D?
What?
D, as a black man, how did you feel about Saw?
Dude, you can't. Okay, I guess I'm answering that now. Okay. It was the most confusing thing I have ever watched in my life, and I've seen a lot of like genuine black movies. So it's when the white guy starts trying to talk like a black man that I start thinking, wow, this film might actually just be racist.
I was thinking about it the other day in a different VC when I was talking to people because somehow the conversation of whitewashing came up, right? And I talked about this because went on a whole tangent about racism and how like a person's race slash skin color isn't integral to the character unless the plot makes it so, you know?
Right.
But I brought up this movie in particular because it struck in my mind the scene at the end, right before he gets the girl and everything, with James Earl Jones and him just sitting there talking about how, he fucked up, right? And he said, now you're in my class but you are the one white person in my class who has knowledge that no one else would have, and that's what it's like to live as a black person in America. And he's like, no, I don't. I could have stopped at any time. I could have stopped all of it from happening at any time I wanted. I don't know what it's like. And that one line, that is a really, really fucking good line that is completely nullified by the rest of this fucking movie, because there is one scene where he gets taken to dinner because guess who's coming to dinner, and then everyone at the table is just looking at him and it's different racial stereotypes, and there's no point to this in the movie.
The mom sees him as like this fucking tribal,
horny
like,
feral man,
African like guy that's gonna like fucking take her sexually. I don't want to say the R word, but
yeah,
that's what she's fantasizing about.
And she didn't even seem to mind it.
The dad, played by the incredible Leslie Nielsen, also rest in peace. He sees him as like a pimp, and he's
eating
like,
watermelon.
He's literally eating watermelon. He's got the big feather hat. He's talking to his daughter, his white date, and she's pregnant and like nursing like 2 kids or whatever, and it's just awful. And then the kid who's spending the whole dinner watching MTV looks up at him and sees him as Prince.
None of this is made up,
Sure.
by the way. You can look this up. The entire movie's free on YouTube.
Oh yeah, the whole
It's like
movie was
the
uploaded on
Knights of the
YouTube.
Round Table, but instead of knight, it's just the round table of races.
I thought you. D, I'm gonna be real. I misheard you. I misheard you for a split second. I thought you said the brown table, and I was just about to fucking start. I
The
thought.
Knights of the Brown Table.
The Knights of the Brown Table, a
Knights of the
pimp,
Brown.
a fucking like tribal
Watch
guy,
it, man.
and
Watch it, man.
popular
Don't,
musician
don't,
Prince.
Gio, maybe D should be
just,
making maybe D
just
should be
don't,
making this.
don't. Just puts hand on his shoulder. Don't do this, bro.
Oh my.
Don't do this.
But I want to make it clear, like
Mm.
as I said, that whole point where the main character doesn't know what it's like to live as a black person in America is a good point to make. Because yeah,
It's true.
you can experience a day in the shoes of it, but he could opt out at any point. He doesn't know, and he's mature enough to admit this. The problem, and like, there's two good scenes, two very good scenes. There's this one, and then there's the one where it snows, and he's talking to the love interest, and how she was up for that grant that he got. And then he regrets everything because he legitimately had started to care for her. Because he was a fuckboy, playboy, don't settle down, just fuck around. But like, he gets attached, and then he genuinely regrets it. Because at the start of the movie, he justifies it to himself because it's only to people in his area, and he hadn't known that it would have gone to other areas had it, not gone to anyone within town. And so he had justified it to himself as, oh, this isn't going to go to anyone else. I need it. But then he realizes it could have gone to someone else, and it's someone he's gone to care for. So now there's regret. And see, those two things, although the entire premise of this movie, still, there's a whole case to be made about the premise of this movie, like, having some merit to be told, but the problem is you would have to take it very seriously, and as mentioned by the dinner table scene, it does not take itself seriously. Not one fucking second. And then it tries to play itself seriously at these specific moments, and then you can see just the smidget tiniest bit of something that wants to tell a story, a meaningful story about this, and then we cut straight to him having to deal with there's this whole comedy scene where there's a naked girl in his bedroom, and then the love interest comes in, and his parents are here, and oh my god, look at all this stuff that's happening, and it's played up for a laugh. It's not played up seriously. It's all played as a joke, right? And the problem is
because it's trying to be like a wacky 80s comedy, but it's also trying to say something about the world, but in not committing one way or the other, it just fails flat on its face as both.
exactly, right? And again, I'm gonna say blackface bad, racism bad. I'm not trying to say at all that this needed to happen to tell this kind of story, right? Mm-hmm. You could have simpler way to do it is you could have just had if you wanted to tell that kind of story where white person experiences a day in the life of a black person in America, it's this episode started with us with D introducing himself as Jack Black. How did I get here?
Because
Oh,
we
no.
watched
I don't know. We haven't even gone to the third movie.
Which we might not even get to, because we've been here for nearly an hour now.
It's already been an
I'm
hour.
sitting at a little
I've been
over an
checking
hour.
Audacity this whole time.
Yeah.
It's been an hour.
Well, but yeah, no, point still stands. If you wanted to tell the story of a white person can learn, see what happens in the life of a black person in America, you could have had it be white kid gets adopted by a black family and then gets the second hand, see secondhand the kind of stuff that happens, and then you could have had a pair of siblings, watch them grown up, still have the college plot, have them both apply to college, and then one of them has to work harder than the other because racism, and he's like, this isn't fair. It's not fair. You could have had that kind of thing, but no. Nuh-uh.
You had to put a white guy in blackface.
I still wonder how long the makeup took.
I don't
give
think I
a
want to think
fuck.
about that part.
I do not give a fuck. I don't care to think about this movie because this
No,
No,
movie is
I
I don't
just.
want to think. I don't want to think or talk about this movie more than I am legally supposed to.
I mean, I guess we can wrap up our talk about this movie because I kind of said all there is to be said about this movie, haven't I?
If I
Yes,
can
yes, you have.
bring up
Oh yeah.
one last point about this movie that I
Yep.
think is really important to note is that this movie was a fucking hit. This
Yep,
movie
it
made
was.
a lot of money at the box office. Like, it was a smash hit. And 1986, like, that's not a bad year for movies. We looked it up. Let me look it up once more. Let me see. 1986 movies. I mean, you got Platoon. You got fucking. You got. Hold on. My fucking phone is not working. You got Transformers the movie. You got The Color of Money. You got The Manhattan Project, Big Trouble in Little China, Crocodile Dundee, The Mission. Like, there's some good movies here. There's some really good movies here. 1986, that's a damn good year for movies, apparently. So, why was this movie a hit? Why
What do you
did
think?
people go
Hmm?
and see this movie?
I wonder. Truly, I do.
I think I
Fucking
realized how
Top
we can.
Gun came out this year. Like,
I just realized something. I realized something crazy.
Yeah, what's
what?
up?
I realized how we can tie these two topics together flawlessly. They use the same kind of marketing.
Oh yeah.
They use the
Oh
same
no.
kind of marketing where they market specific scenes to get a reaction out of people, so people go see it to see the context of those scenes, and then bada bing, bada boom, the money rolls in. And they fall on two completely different ends of an spectrum, and they show where hot movies have progressed from then to now, and it's just crazy to think about how, like, as much as things change, they also say the same. It's insane how I'm so smart. I managed to tie this all together. Good job, me.
This is over so bad. Do not pat yourself on the back for that.
I wanna. All right, I've just found way more popular movies than that list was giving me. Do you want to hear some more movies that came out that year?
No.
We got Top Gun, we got Aliens, Stand By Me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, David Lynch's Blue Velvet, Platoon, Highlander, Labyrinth, Pretty in Pink, Big Trouble in Little China, The Fly, Little Shop of Horrors, Three Amigos, The Karate Kid Part 2. All way better movies than this. Fucking Castle in the Sky came out that year.
The Ghibli
There's
movie?
some. Yes.
I watched that one not too long ago. That was. Oh no, wait. Was it? Yeah, it was Castle in the Sky. I think. Yeah,
That's a great movie.
it was really good. Yeah. Alrighty.
Why the fuck was this movie a hit? Why did people go and see Soul Man? If people hadn't seen Soul Man, we wouldn't be talking about this. But unfortunately, to all the boomers out there, you fucked up.
I mean, I, I mean,
Your fault.
I mean.
This is all
To
your
be fair,
fault.
we would have been talking about Soul Man regardless. We saw it on a free, YouTube playlist for free. Just the whole thing.
That's
Fair
true.
enough.
But it being a success has managed to make this episode coherent and have a topic other than just we three amigos. See what I did there? I tied it in.
Shut up, you dynamic dumbass. Shut up.
But yeah, no.
Dynamic.
The only thing the boomers have done is made it so that we have a consistent theming for this episode, rather than it just being, yeah, we saw a bunch of movies. Let's talk about it. Which I think it would still would have made a fun episode regardless. But like now there's a
Stop that.
point, and now there's a point, and we can say we're professionals. You know?
Can we? Because we still only talked about Minecraft and Racism the movie.
Yes.
All right, then we're professionals.
I-
Joe Rogan, here we come.
Let's go.
We're coming for that spot, bitch.
we're yeah. Whoa, sorry. I'm just like I know.
What happened?
Whoa.
I'm just
Brother,
I'm,
whoa.
I'm just like I know we need to wrap up soon, but it feels like it hasn't been an hour. This conversation does not feel like it was an hour long because of how nothing
Time
these two
flies when
movies
you're
were.
talking about time flies when you're talking about stuff that you really just have a lot to say about.
That's
It's
true.
true.
We are just like three autistic people rambling about the worst things ever.
It's true, and we didn't even get to Nothing, the movie.
Okay, plot summary of Nothing the movie. Dog falls in love with sheep. Sheep wants to go to space because pervert bird tells sheep that all of the black sheep are on the moon. Yes, this is also a racism allegory. Uh, Dog is still simping for sheep. Sheep fucks off and leaves. Dog gets blamed for all of sheep's misgivings. Uh, Japanese sweatshop with racist caricature spiders. Piss scene. The sheep and dog. The dog gets replaced by another dog who's a GI Joe, who's a big fucking pussy, but also a big fucking dick, so he's intersex. And then bada bing bada boom, they escape the farm. They meet the other dogs because Farm Dog was actually Space Dog named Yuri, but there is no girls kissing, unfortunately. There is just the endless void of nothing that this movie left me with. There's mutant evil sheep. Black sheep and dog confess. Black sheep proceeds to use manipulation tactics to just have the dog do what she says, and then the dog finds the other dogs and then kind of tells her to fuck off, and so she fucks off. And then he gets a wig on, and in this moment, Gio broke down to like a degree where I have not seen him break down since we watched A Car's Life. Like he legitimately, D can recount it. D can recount it.
It's really funny.
It was really funny.
It was very funny. He just like he dressed up
Nostalgia.
as the nostalgia critic. It
Yeah.
was really funny.
It's
And
true,
so
I
that-
dressed as the nostalgia critic and I got really drunk.
And then,
Yeah.
well, getting drunk was after the fact when we were on call with a bunch of people talking about having watched this movie. So then, they're about to go to space. Evil pink mutant sheep is about to kill them all, right?
Yeah.
Then the black sheep comes back and is like, I actually changed my mind. I love you. And then that's the code word that, like, triggers the sleeper agent in the pink sheep's brain to not be a monster. And then they never go to the moon. And then the black
Yeah,
sheep
the moon's
who
not
had...
factor. The moon is like not a
You were-
factor at the end of it.
You were lied to. The black sheep then's like, can you forgive me for all the shit I just put you through? Dog reasonably says no. And then the mutant sheep's like, come on, she came. And it's like... Dog is like completely changed his mind. Absolutely zero character development. They get together.
Folds
They
under
make
no
out
pressure.
nasty. They make out nasty style in front of the farmer. They go back. The movie sets up a time loop. We cut to the moon. There is black sheep on the moon. And I forgot to mention the entire time the black sheep's name is a slur. And that was the movie that we did not get to talk about. I don't think we missed anything by not talking about it in depth because all I felt was pain.
Also, if you want to watch this horrible movie, just look up Pup.
Yeah. Or the other names for this movie, which I can't legally say.
That's true. I'll put up a poster of what it is now. Wow, look at that. That's
Wow, editing
fucking
Gio. Make sure to
awful.
not forget to wow, that's supposed to dog water. Oh,
Or-
Do you
Alrighty.
want to give me any more editing to do?
more editing, more back to work.
Okay. I'll put in a nice infographic of, I don't know, fucking something.
well, no, not just like, don't just like,
Some mental timestamp.
don't even edit anything fancy. Just put like the JPEG of SpongeBob sad here, and then like deep fry the image, and and that's it. That's it. He was forced to watch Pup
Was forced to watch Pup and eat
and eat
cement.
Soul Man.
And eat Soul Man. Actually, that might be a good thing.
I ate Soul Man.
I ate it.
All
We
right.
out of Soul Man.
Alrighty. Do we want to give any closing remarks before we head off?
No. No.
I
Get me out. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.
Alrighty.
didn't
Gee.
have fun.
Alrighty. I guess abruptly cut the episode here. Well, I stopped recording.
I just want to point out that for Pup, I broke down and got real drunk afterwards. And for Soul Man, I wish I hung myself. Both of which were a better reaction than what I had to the Minecraft movie. Because that was just nothing. Anyway, D, any last words? All right, well, he stopped recording, so subscribe, like, share with someone, I guess. I don't know why you'd put this on someone. Please fucking end it all. This is the last episode we're ever gonna do. Goodbye.